So as you study chemical equations in your chemistry, A plus B will give C plus D. Similarly, we have a success equation for JEE. So success equation for JEE goes like this: substance plus stability leads to capability. So all JEE aspirants are looking for three capabilities. First is strong concepts of maths, physics, chemistry. Second is good problem solving skills. And third is good exam scores and rank. So all of you, after finishing a chapter, let's say Newton's laws of motion, friction, center of mass, work per energy, you expect from yourself कि मेरे concepts बहुत strong हो, my problem solving skills should be very good, and even my exam performance on that chapter should be very, very good. So all these three things you are expecting from yourself. So in order to come at that output, you need to work on two categories of input. So first category is given by substance and second category is given by stability. So substance parameters are those parameters which are directly related to your academics, while stability parameters are the sanskar parameters, which is the sanskar of students who are currently studying in IIT, NIT, IIIT or BITS, or it is the sanskar of people who have graduated from these colleges. It is the sanskar of professors who are teaching in those colleges. So if you want to get into such colleges right now only, your sanskar should be like the people who are studying there, people who have graduated from there, and people who are teaching there. So now I will walk you through each parameter of substance in detail. So those who are lying down, those who are just watching this webinar as a movie or as a leisure activity, I encourage them that they sit with their spine erect, they keep their spine as erect as possible, they pay as much attention and focus now, and they need to make notes as I walk through each of the parameter of substance and stability in detail. So I'm starting now with the substance. So first category of first parameter in substance is science and maths basics till class 10th. So till class 10th, even if we mug the concepts up, even if we do the rote learning, if you're not able to understand, still we get marks till class 10th. But this doesn't work in 11th and 12th. So 11th and 12th preparation is completely application based. You need to first understand the concepts, know the derivations, have a feel for science, have a feel for PCM, and then you practice a lot of questions, and then you do a lot of and then you attempt a lot of exams. So that's how 11th and 12th preparation is done. So if till class 10th you are not able to develop a feel of concepts such as speed, distance, time, velocity, acceleration, force, momentum, work, power, energy, if you're not able to develop the feel of these concepts till class 10th, when you come to class 11th and 12th, you have very little time to develop a feel again. And if again in 11th and 12th you're not able to develop a feel, it's going to be a challenge. So just look for yourself, are you struggling on this parameter right now or not? Yes. So those who have just joined, please keep typing your name, class and city you belong to. And now we are at the success equation for those who have just joined. And I am walking through a very remarkable, exceptional success equation. So just see for yourself, are you lacking in science and maths basics right now? If that is happening with you, your capabilities or your skills, which is concepts, problem solving and exams, is not up to the mark. The second is language and comprehension skills. When I interact with a lot of JEE aspirants and I ask them, why do you make mistakes in exams? They tell to me that 80 to 90% times they make mistake in reading the question or interpretation of that question. So 80 to 90% times in your mock exams, you make mistake in reading the question or interpretation of that question. And if that is happening with you consistently, that means you have weak language and comprehension skills. So please write this point down and think for yourself, are you lacking on this parameter? Then comes the intelligence and logical thinking. So to understand science thoroughly, you should have a particular level of IQ and logical thinking. So all the scientific concepts that you're studying right now, these concepts are designed by very great scientists such as Einstein, Gauss, Newton, Bohr, Marie Curie, C.V. Raman, and so on. So these were brilliant scientists who had a very good IQ and a very high logical thinking. So if you are missing on that, it's going to be very difficult to understand scientific concepts. So just put a question mark for yourself that you're lacking on IQ and logical thinking. Then comes the feel of science and visualization. So whatever concept that you study in science, you should have a great feel for. You should have a great imagination. You should have a great visualization. So let me give you an example. If you are studying Newton's first law of motion, if a body is at rest, it continues to remain at rest. While if a body is in motion, it continues to remain in motion until and unless an external force is applied on the body. So this law is not just in words. In order to understand this law, you should first know the meaning of object at rest. You should know the meaning of object in motion. You should know the meaning of force. You should know the meaning of acceleration. You should know the meaning of inertia. So all these 5 things individually, you should have a very clear meaning of in the mind. Only when you know these 5 things individually, you can combine them together and solve problems on that and get a feel of Newton's first law. Otherwise, it's not possible. This is how you need to study all concepts of PCM. Then comes the capable teachers. So once you join any coaching, either online coaching or offline coaching, this parameter gets taken care of, and you need not worry about this parameter after you have joined any coaching, right? So if teachers are not teaching well, then the problem is not in teachers 99% times. 99% times, if you're not able to understand from a teacher, the problem is within you. That's a fact. We don't accept that. We keep on changing our teachers. We keep on changing the sources that we follow. And even after that, we are not able to score well in the exams. Then comes the study material. The best study material for JEE preparation, the first priority is given to a good coaching material. So whatever coaching that you have joined, give first priority to the study material provided by the coaching. The second priority in chemistry should be given to NCERT books, while in physics and maths, you should give a priority to a good book such as H.C. Verma, Cengage or Aryan series. And once you are done with these 2 priority levels of study material, you should again repeat them unless you do it 2 times, and then only move to the third source if you have enough time left. Then comes the right strategies and techniques. So thousands of students in Kota, thousands of students in Hyderabad, thousands of students somewhere else have joined same coaching. They have got the same teachers, they've got the same study material, they've got the same 24 hours to do self-study. Then why does it happen that some students are toppers, a lot of students are average, and a lot of students are below average? Why does it happen? So if a student is working hard, spending 6 to 7 hours daily, the main difference between him and a topper is that he's not studying in the right way. By right way, I mean that the way he do his class revision, the way he manages homework, the way he attempt the questions of the sheet, the way he asks the theoretical, numerical doubts, the way he attempt the exams, the way he prepare for the exams, the way he do the analysis of the exam, his consistent revision plan, all these things make a difference between topper and average students. Then comes the self-study hours. So every day you need to work for 7 to 8 hours for 2 long years to achieve your goal. If you're not able to do that, your coaching won't be able to help you improve on this parameter. Then comes the mock exam practice. So mock exam practice, the frequency should be once in 3 weeks in class 11th. When you come to class 12th, I have divided class 12th into 4 quarters of 3 months each. In the first quarter of 12th, give exams once in 2 weeks, 3-hour JEE mains or 6-hour JEE advanced exam. In the second quarter of 12th, give exams once a week, 3-hour JEE mains or 6-hour JEE advanced. In the third quarter of 12th, give exam 2 times a week. While in the fourth quarter of 12th, the last quarter of 12th, give exams at least 3 times a week. So overall, in 2 years, you need to give at least 100 to 150 exams of 3 hours JEE mains or 6-hour JEE advanced. Only then you are not nervous on final day. Only then you don't make silly mistakes on final day. Only then you are very relaxed, calm, composed on the final day, and you get into your dream college. Then comes the mock exam analysis. More than 99% JEE aspirants don't do the analysis after the mock exam. So let me give you an analogy. For example, if you're playing a game of cricket in your street and you got out at the first ball, so will you not analyze that why you got out at the first ball, why you couldn't defend the ball, why you couldn't see the ball, why did you select that particular shot? If you will not do the analysis, you will again get out at the first ball in the next match. And that's what happens with a lot of JEE aspirants. They keep on making the same mistakes again and again, and they don't improve, they don't get trained on. Then comes the consistent revision. So a lot of students who complete class 11, they tell to me Sir, I'm not able to remember the concepts which I studied at the beginning of 11, the first 2 3 months, kinematics, work per energy, friction, and Newton's laws. I'm not able to remember the concepts. I'm not able to solve enough questions. Even my performance in mock exams is also not up to your satisfaction. So when they say to me, I tell to them or I ask them, if you're forgetting concepts in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, how will you remember for 2 years? Yes. So this is the realization that you're getting from this session. So let me know on the chat, in the chat box, on what parameters of substance do you lack right now. Let me give you 30 seconds. Please think about it and let me know on what parameters of substance do you lack right now. So now stability. So now let me tell you about the Sanskar parameters possessed by students who are studying at IITs. It is the Sanskar parameters who have graduated from there. It is the Sanskar parameters of professors who are teaching there. So the first parameter of Sanskar is inspiration or motivation. So whatever students studying at IIT do, they do with very high motivation, inspiration. They have a fire within them to get into their dream college. And if you have to do 6 to 7 hours of self-study every day for 2 long years, you should have a very great fire, inspiration within yourself to achieve that goal. The second is attitude towards studies. As I told in the first point of substance, you need to shift your attitude from mugging, rote learning to understanding. The understanding is comprised of 3 parts. First, learn to derive the formulas. First, understand everything. Build a very good concepts. Build very good theory. Then solve 200 to 300 problems per chapter, and then give more and more mock exams. Only then you are able to apply. So now 11th and 12th preparation is application based rather than memory based. So till 10th we had memory based studies, memory based exams. In 11th and 12th we have application based exams. Then comes discipline. So discipline fundamentally means that you are doing more than what is asked of you. Only when you do more what is asked of you, you will be a successful student, you will be a successful person, you will be a successful employee, successful businessman, and so on. So if you are doing only that much what is asked of you, you will always be an average person, average student, average employee, average businessman. Then comes the goal setting. More than 99% the aspirants don't write their goals on paper. Even if they write their goals on paper, plan their day on paper, they're not able to achieve it, and as a result they stop doing. But stop doing is not the solution. You need to think about yourself why you're not able to achieve your goals. Then comes the focus. Focus is fundamentally about stabilizing your thoughts, your vision, and your actions in one direction. So right now, if your thoughts wander, or if your vision wander, or if your actions wander, you're not focused. It could be because of lot of reasons, lot of distractions that you have in your life. Then comes the time management. Time management is a combination of two things: goal setting and focus. So if you're writing goals on paper, if you are focused, time management will not be an issue. Otherwise, time management will always be an issue. Then comes the consistency. Every day, 6 to 7 hours of self-study for 2 long years require a very high consistent mindset, very high consistent schedule. And consistency is not just in schedule, it is also in the way you study, the way you attempt the questions, the way you understand theory, the way you attempt the exams, the way you prepare for the exams. A lot of students lack consistency on these parameters. Then comes confidence. So after studying every chapter, you should be so confident that whatever question on this chapter comes, either a simple level or a mains level or an advanced level, I will be able to do it. If you're not able to build that kind of confidence, excuse me, if you're not able to build that level of confidence, it's going to be a challenge for you. Still, there are gaps in your knowledge. Then comes the mental and emotional stability. So if you are preparing for JEE, or if you are in class 10th, you're not scoring well in your in your test in class 10th, or after starting JEE preparation, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months have passed, still your concepts are not strong, problem solving skills is not good, exam performance is not up to satisfaction. What happens is that it brings a lot of negativity within you. You start questioning yourself, you start questioning your capabilities. It leads to limiting beliefs, and if that is happening, again it will stop you from sitting still for 6 7 hours daily in your self study. Then comes the friend circle. Friend circle in your JEE preparation should be such that they are very motivated, committed, inspired towards their goal, working hard and achieving better than you. Only when they perform better than you also improve. Well, if your friend circle is such that they are not interested in their goal, they just wants to play, party, chill, hang around, play PUBG, they just want to pass their time, they're not performing better than you will also not improve, rather you will come down. Memory power. So memory power means when your mind needs the formula that you have just remembered, or the things that you have understood, when your mind most needed, it should come to you. So a lot of students go blank in the exams, and that shows that their brain is not supporting them. Then comes the health and stress. So 6 to 7 hours of self study for 2 long years is only possible when your body supports you and your mind supports you. So if you're getting sick quite often, 2 3 weeks get wasted in the illness that you've got, it completely affects your JEE preparation, and it completely pushes you back in your preparation journey. So you should be healthy, you shouldn't get sick quite often. For that, you need to do something, either take medicine, increase your immunity, do some jogging, yoga, exercise, meditation regularly, at least 15 to 20 minutes. Then comes the stress. Stress fundamentally arises when you're not able to meet the expectations either of your own, or of your parents, or of your neighbors, or of your teachers, and so on. So the best way to get over stress is that don't let anyone expect you from anything, or meet those expectations. So let me know in the chat box, let me know on what sanskar parameters do you lack right now. So I'll give you 20 seconds to think. So let me know on what sanskar parameters do you lack right now. Yes, thank you. So once you join any coaching, once you join either an online coaching or offline coaching, your coaching is responsible only for three things. First is capable teachers, second is study material, and third is exam practice. Rest everything marked in red, rest everything marked in box, you need to manage yourself. Okay, so these three things you get in your coaching: rest everything in red, rest everything in box, you need to manage yourself. And that's what is the difference between toppers, average, and below average students. Toppers are able to manage all these parameters quite well. Average students are able to manage some of these parameters quite well, while below average students are not able to manage a lot of these parameters themselves. As a result, they struggle. So this is the difference between toppers, average, below average students. And I hope that you're writing these points down. Have you written these points down? Because you have to go through these points again and again. Once you go back from this webinar in your self study, you have to go through these points again and again. Ideally every day you should look at this sheet. Ideally every week you should look and see for yourself on what parameter are you lacking, and how can you improve on these parameters. You have to think for yourself.